Okay, time for another Bella update. So it's been a while since the last update and a lot has happened since the last update, so settle down and let's get into it. In the last update, I mentioned that I took Bella to the vet and she got a ton of blood work and testing done. Now, unfortunately, the results still didn't reveal much, but the vets prescribed her 3 medications that she was going to be on, and we were going to wait and see if those medications improved anything. And she was on those for about 3 to 4 weeks before she had a follow-up appointment. Now, in those 4 weeks before her appointment, one of my cats, Nyla, started to show signs of stress. She stopped eating. She would eat treats, but she wouldn't eat like the normal food that she usually eats. That is not Nyla at all. Nyla loves food. Nyla always wants food, and she started going outside of the litter box. So I made an appointment with her vet, and they did a physical exam and took a bladder sample. Everything came back fine, so they said that it was due to stress. And I knew the stress was because of Bella. Bella, this entire time, has never gotten the okay to be around other cats. Because vets have not been able to figure out what the problem is, they were always like, keep her separate. We don't know what it is yet, so we don't want to risk you passing it on to your other cats. So Bella and my cats have not ever been in contact. That has been a problem for Nyla because that means she has not been able to come into my bedroom because that's where I keep Bella. And then I had a trip to Italy coming up, so I was also busy planning for Italy, so I just didn't have enough time to cater to both Bella and Nyla, and Nyla started getting stressed out about it. So then I started getting stressed that I had 2 cats under my roof that were having issues. So we went and got some Fellaway diffusers. We also got her a little calming collar, tried to spend more time with her. But with my trip to Italy, I was gonna have Bella stay with somebody else because she requires a lot of medication and my mom doesn't know how to do all that. And we were like, okay, Nyla's gonna have 10 days without Bella and hopefully that will help things out. So about a week before Bella's vet appointment, she started having a couple more issues. First of all, this thing appeared on her back and I was like, what the actual hell is that? And then she also was vomiting like every single day. And I also noticed she was starting to have diarrhea. So I was like, great. So I took her to the vet, which the day I took her to the vet just so happened to also be the day I was gonna be leaving for Italy, which was just wonderful timing. I was extremely stressed this whole time because the timing was just awful. So they did a shot for the thing on her back that was supposed to help it out, and then they prescribed 2 more medications, one to help with the diarrhea and one to help with the vomiting. Then they did a physical and they said that basically nothing had really improved, so they wanted to get a biopsy of her spleen to see what was really going on. Now, unfortunately, this is where things take a not so great turn. While I was on my trip in Europe, I got an email from the vet. And here's what the results said. So Bella's lab work showed some worsening to her liver enzyme elevations. Otherwise, the remainder of her blood work was unchanged. The sample from her enlarged spleen shows she has a large accumulation of a form of white blood cell called, I'm going to put the word here because I don't know how to pronounce it. Low numbers are normal in the spleen, but in Bella's case, she has an increased number of them. And because they were all very similar in appearance and size, it raises concern that these may be cancerous. However, the pathologist was not able to determine whether these were truly cancerous or just present due to inflammation, but given the appearance of her ultrasound, enlarged abdominal lymph nodes, enlarged and irregular spleen, and her clinical signs, the vet is pretty sure that she has a form of abdominal cancer called small cell lymphoma. All in all, Bella's really sick, and Bella's reaching the end of her journey. As for Nyla, Nyla luckily has gotten better. The week without Bella really helped her out. She's back to eating like normal. She seems much more herself. But yeah, that is unfortunately the update for Bella. I always knew there was a possibility that she wouldn't get healthy. I was just hoping that she would. So that's it for now. So a lot of you have been asking for an update on Bella, so here it is. In my last update, I mentioned that I was going to talk to my regular vet about what Bella's paperwork said and go from there. So I did, and my vet told me kind of the same thing as the first vet that I took her to, that it is something that's a little more complicated, so I'm gonna have to take her to an internalized vet, I think. I don't know, something a little more specialized. So I did make an appointment for her for that, but her appointment isn't until June. So we're just waiting it out until that appointment. The vets do seem to be, oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? Optimistic. that she is eating. They've said that a problem with gallbladders is they will stop eating, but they're taking the fact that she is still eating as a good sign. And not only does she eat, she eats a lot. Like this girl, she's like food, and it's kind of cute. Like if she hasn't fed it for a while and I walk in, she just does this like silent meow, like feed me, feed me. So yeah, she's been doing okay. It seems to me she's been gaining weight because she doesn't feel as bony as she did before. Like I can still feel her bones on her back, but I don't feel them on her head quite as significantly as I did before, and also her chest. So I think she is gaining a little weight, which is good. When I do take her to the vet, they are going to analyze her, do testing and all that, and then we will decide if it's surgery or if it's a medication thing. Speaking of medication, she finished her antibiotics today. How exciting. I'm sure she's happy about that, and so am I, because she's been gaining more energy and all that, and she starts to fight me when it comes to antibiotics time. I'm like, this is good for you. Just accept it. She's like, no. But yeah, we're finally done with that. Unfortunately, we probably are gonna have to do more medication once we go back to the vet, but we have a little bit of breathing room from here to there. Her respiratory infection has cleared up quite a bit. She does occasionally, a couple times a day, have a sneezing fit, and more often than not, snot will come out and it'll just go flying everywhere. She is very messy, you guys. I have woken up to puke more than once, stepped in it a couple times. And she's also not great about covering up her business in the litter box, so I have to cover it for her. She tries, don't get me wrong, she tries. She's just really bad at it. Like she paws outside of the box. I'm like, girl, what do you think you're doing? That's not gonna do anything, but whatever, it's fine. She's also a very messy eater. Like she's just so messy. It's like a war zone in there. I'm like, oh my god, I have to clean it so much, and I'm just like, oh, why are you so messy? But other than that, she's doing pretty good. So that is it for now. I probably won't do another update until June. It's kind of the same thing every day at this point. Just keeping her fed and cleaning up after her multiple times a day. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys in June. Hi, how can I help you? I was in here for a haircut yesterday and the haircut is so awful. I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry about that. Did you want me to go ahead and fix it for you? No. I don't want to touch. I don't want to touch. I want my hair straightened. Okay, we can do that. Come on over. I want to see what it looks like. I just started. It doesn't look any different yet. I want to see what it looks like. Okay. Why isn't this side straight? Well, like I said, I haven't finished straightening it yet. I've only done like 3 pieces, so... I told you I wanted this straight. This isn't straight. You have to let me straighten it for it to be straight. Okay, fine. I want it straight. Okay, it will be straight. You have to let me straighten it. I want to see the back. You just looked at the back. I've only done 2 more pieces since then. It looks the same. I need to see it. It's not straight. Come set up a Nutcracker themed Christmas party with me. So I have had a fixation on the Nutcracker ever since I saw the ballet as a little girl, and last year I went to see the ballet again with some friends, and while I was watching it, I thought to myself, this would be the perfect theme for a Christmas party. So I started planning my Nutcracker party. Now to make my life easier, I always start setting up decorations way in advance, and I also try to get the most time-consuming decorations out of the way first. And one of the most time-consuming things were these glasses. I really wanted each glass to have its own little tutu. I thought that would be cute, you know, like a little ballerina. And I had close to like 20 people coming. So I was sitting in my kitchen gluing these forever. And it was so messy too. I, of course, had to buy the sparkly tool and it got everywhere. And the hot glue also got everywhere. It was a disaster. I actually quit on about glass number 14 and decided the rest would just have to be tutu-less because I just couldn't take it anymore. And it low-key kind of worked out because I had a couple people cancel the day of the party. There were some people that were sick. So in the end, I pretty much had the right amount of glasses that had a tutu, give or take like 1 or 2, and I just gave those to the boys that were coming. The next most time-consuming thing was this hallway. Now for the majority of my party, the theme was a pink Nutcracker and lots of sparkles, but for my hallway, I really wanted to do something inspired by this scene in the ballet. It's the first scene that pops in my head whenever I think of the Nutcracker, and it's such a pretty scene too. So I decided I would make this hallway different shades of blue with silver and snowflakes. I originally wanted to put fake snow along the baseboards sometimes too, but I knew trying to get fake snow to stay in place would just piss me off, so I decided to just pick my battles and forego it. Now, what made this hallway so time consuming to set up were these damn fairy lights, because I always get these things tangled. Mind you, these were fresh out of the box and I still tangled up almost every single one. It's a talent, truly. Anyways, I finished off the hallway with some snowflakes and it was finally done. And honestly, this was one of my favorite parts of all of my decorations. It came out so pretty. Now, next up were my photo ops. One thing about me, I will always have a photo op at my parties, because not only do I love taking pictures, but so do my friends. And for my Christmas party specifically, I always try to do 2 photo ops. And this year I wanted to make a giant snow globe. Also, yes, I was too cheap to buy a white rug for the center, so we're just gonna pretend the snow can be pink sometimes too, okay? Maybe somebody got stabbed in my snow globe and their blood turned the snow pink. Who knows? Now, the other photo op was a lot easier to put together. I pulled inspiration from this photo on Pinterest, except I didn't realize the candy cane balloons I ordered were gigantic, and I also didn't realize they only came with 2. So instead of hanging the balloons, I decided to just use them as a border. I also had made these cute DIY candy decorations out of paper plates and tissue paper, and I didn't really know what to do with them, so I added them to the photo backdrop, and I really like how that came out. Now, as for the living room, I wanted to go a little more fancy this time around. So I usually just grab some like plastic tablecloths and throw a centerpiece or 2 on there and that's it. But I wanted to go a little more classy this time. I also throw parties pretty often, and it just makes more sense for me to buy things that I can use over and over again than to buy cheap stuff that gets thrown out after each party. So I bought legit tablecloths for this, table runner and silverware and all that jazz. I did buy cloth napkins, which I used to display one of my favorite things I did for this party, which was to make everyone a custom playbill with their face photoshopped onto an actual ballerina. I was dying of laughter while making these, and everybody else was cracking up too when they saw them. Oh my god. Now, I also wanted to give everybody an actual photo of themselves at my party, not just a photoshopped photo. So I bought these cute Nutcracker photo ornaments, and I was going to be taking pictures of everybody during the party and secretly sending them to my mom so that she could print them out during the party and I could hand them out to everybody before they left. So that's what I did. I forgot to take any pictures of the finished product, so you're just gonna have to use your imagination on how they came out, but they were cute. But yeah, that was this year's party. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. We played a bunch of games and had a white elephant gift exchange, and I also had them do a nutcracker scavenger hunt. I put tiny nutcrackers all over the house and they had to go find them. So that's my Nutcracker Christmas party. We'll see what I come up with next year.